and welcome to episode 6 in a series of walking guides for the highest mountains in Scotland. Ben Vane is one of my favourite local walks, as when you approach the foot of the mountain it appears to be unassailable. This is due to its steepness and the mass of vertical rock face that you're presented with. There is a good, well-worn path that winds up the face of the mountain and for the most part is relatively easy to ascend. There are some sections that require scrambling. Similar to Ben Vorlich in the previous episode, this is one of the shorter Munro walks, especially if you use a bicycle to get you to the start of the hillside, as I did. The total distance for today's walk is 11.7 kilometres and the total ascent is 929 metres, with a walking time of around 5 hours. So starting at the car park, if you're walking, you'll leave the car park and cross the road, and then follow the path, the footpath that goes up the side of the road. At this point here, the path will go around a derelict building and you'll come out onto another road, and at this point you want to keep to the left and then it'll join you back up to the main road and you follow the path up along the main road. Come to a junction and you'll be able to see a viaduct where the railway track crosses over the road, and this is the way you want to go. You'll go through a gate, there's actually 2 gates that you can go through, and then that'll take you onto the hydro path. If you're walking, you can cut the corner of this big loop here. You can just go up through the woods, and if you're cycling, follow the road and go up the road. You then just keep following this road. So you'll come to this bridge. The last time we went straight ahead, but this time we're going to take a left, and at this point the road changes from being a tarmac road to a gravel road, and it's about half a kilometre up that gravel road is where I leave the bike. You will see a rock staircase on the right hand side. So at this point it's quite a steep start and you go up, and then you'll come to a flat, and this can be a boggy area especially when it's not the height of summer, and then it starts to get a bit steeper and you continue straight up. There's a little slight zigzag, and here we go to the right and we go up, and it's quite steep at this point, and then you'll come round to the left and then pretty much head straight up. And once you get to around about 800 metres, it starts to level off a bit. You follow the path, and when we come to this point, this is the most difficult section of the walk. And in my walk that I've time-lapse recorded, I actually went slightly to the right and climbed up at the face of it what appeared to be an easier route. The main path was covered in snow, so I didn't see the path go off to the left. I knew it was going to go to the left, but I thought it was just a little bit further on before it went to the left. So you go to the left here, and there is scrambling required to get up this section. And once you get up this section, that is the most difficult part of the walk, and it's a fairly easy walk to the top. The top is quite a flat top, and on a good day you can see for miles. So to return to the car park, you follow the same route that you ascended the mountain, taking care again to descend at the bit where you need to scramble. You follow the path all the way back down. For the majority of it, it's quite an easy descent, although it is quite steep and you just need to take your time. Then you'll return back to where the bike is, and from here you can just simply coast downhill all the way back down to the car park. As always, I checked the weather report, and again I did this on my mobile phone, so I downloaded the PDF so that I could just show the report for the day. And it was very similar to the previous walk. There was going to be some wind, it's not too bad, but it was going to increase in the afternoon. Possibility of rain and snow, and visibility is going to be very low at 10% chance of the top being clear. Slightly warmer than the previous walk, but down to -10 in the wind. I did look ahead at the rest of the week, and the weather was just going to get worse. So this was my best opportunity to get out and do something this week. Good morning. I'm back at Inveruglas. Going to do the final Munro of Arrochar Alps, and that's Ben Vane. And not that you can just make it out. That's Ben Lomond there. And the top is clear at the moment. I'll go and make a cup of tea, get a parking ticket, lighten up a little bit, and then get off on the bike. So it's a much nicer start to the day. Clear, you can see the top of Ben Lomond over there. We'll cycle up the start. So that's Ben Vane, the summit is in cloud, and Ben Lomond to the left of it, which looks to be clear at the moment. I think Ben Lomond is actually higher, but because it's further back, it looks smaller. There's more ice and snow on this road than I had hoped for, and certainly more than last week, making cycling a bit treacherous. So a few people have been along here. You see the footprints going up Ben Vane ahead. You start off at the left hand side, you can see a faint path up through there, and then you go sort of in. So you go up there and then in and up and up and up and up. There's a pretty good path at the beginning. I'm not sure how it is further up. There's one part near the top where there's a little bit of scrambling, and we'll see what that's like in the snow. It might be easier because the snow can allow you to kick in big footsteps. So I've brought my ice axe today, one ice axe and my crampons, just in case. It's nice and calm. We'll see how that continues. The weather report for today was very mixed. It wasn't clear. They weren't sure how it was going to go. I think it's going to get quite windy later on. So this time when we come to this wide junction, we're taking the left, and the start, it's not far over there, maybe half a kilometre still to go. The dam's up there in the distance, and the start of Ben Vorlock is up there to the right. So I've come to the start of the walk up the actual mountain. Again, there's a blue sign there. I think that sign actually says about keeping your dogs on the leash. So I'm going to go up there behind that bit. It levels off a wee bit, and there's Ben Vane up there in the cloud. Ben Vorlock. The last time I tried to climb this, I was up here with a couple of friends, and it was winter. I should say the last time in the winter when I tried to climb this with a couple of friends. We had to turn around. The wind, once we got up into that cloud, the wind was so bad we were almost having to crawl to stop us from getting pushed back. It was ridiculous. And the snow was quite deep as well. I think it was up to our waist at points. Today is definitely a lot milder, but you can never tell once you get up there. It can change. You can have a nice calm morning and then hailstones and gale force winds half an hour later. So you've always got to be prepared and not try to do too much. I've brought the GPS. I always have my GPS, but I've actually loaded it up with a GPX file. I use Walk Highlands to download some of my routes, and then that way if it gets a whiteout you can use your GPS to follow the path. If it gets really bad, I've not had this problem for many years, but you know, if the snow is really dense and the cloud is dense, I have had occasion where the GPS cannot get a signal, and so you do have to use your map and compass. Your compass will work, I think, almost everywhere in mainland Scotland. Compass does not work on the Isle of Skye. The rock has got too much iron content, and you can't get in, you know, it doesn't tell you where north is. Also, the detail of the maps in Skye are not fine enough, so even if you've got GPS and you know exactly where you are, you still have very, very difficult route finding on some of the Munros in Skye, so you need to be careful there. But I'll show them later in the series. I will be keeping those mountains for very clear, spectacular days out, because it makes it a lot easier. On this flat part, it can be a little bit boggy. It's not too bad today because of the cold and sort of frozen underneath. You can see the path, straight ahead, goes right up, zigzags. You can even see, looks like there's a set of steps there. It does get quite steep, and you will probably very light scrambling required. And if I look across to the right, Ben Vane, and the path that went up in the last walk, it kind of goes up there and then up that bit right in the centre and up into the cloud. I do have a feeling that this is the calm before the storm. We'll see what happens when we get up there. We could be in for a surprise either way. It's lovely just now. That first hour is definitely the hardest part. Oh, it's hard work. Ben Lomond, Ben Vane, Ben Vane, and Ben Lomond is up there. Ben Vane is almost clear. A good part of the ridge is clear. And there's cloud. We're getting a little bit of an inversion. Ben Vane is almost clear. So I stopped for a rest and a drink of juice. It's all got very eerie. All the clouds come in. Still nice and calm. So we go up this steep section and then over and then up and over and up and over. It goes on for a bit more than you would imagine, a few false summits in the way. So we'll see how that goes. And it's clearing up a little bit. You can see Ben Lomond. Makes for quite some shot. It looks like I'm about to be engulfed in cloud. The path is quite clear. It's got snow on it, but it's easy to follow at the moment. And there's been a number of people up here, so there's footprints to follow. There's the faintest part of sort of bluish sky, open sky over there. It's a good path, it's well constructed, it's quite steep, but it's easy to climb up. The path is getting harder to follow. People have been missing it, so there's no footprints in the real path. Looks like they cut up the corner there and joined back onto it. So we're going up there into the unknown. I'm at 700 metres. The gradient, the steepness of this climb pretty much stays the same as this up until just about 800 metres. It gets slightly easier, but nothing easy. It just keeps going to the top. Now it's 760 metres and the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. It's not bad, but there's a constant breeze. So with the wind picking up, I've just stopped to put my waterproof trousers on, zip up the armpits in the jacket and just keep the wind chill out. It's not too far to go to get to the top. It's about half a kilometre to the top, 115 metres in total to get there in altitude. It gets a little bit easier from here. I think we've done the worst of the steep parts. Visibility, 100 metres or so. Wind at this point is a little bit less. It's coming from two directions at the same time. It's a bit weird. So this bit's a little bit trickier looking. Going by the map, we keep to the right and then we cut across to the left. So when you get to this point, the OS map shows it going to the left. And it doesn't really look good going to the left, but it's not bad at all. It was easier to come down. I mean, from here it looks really high, but coming down it didn't seem that high. So, stay to the left. It might be easier to see the path when I get a bit closer. Well, I hope there's an easier way back down. Doesn't look like much, but there's a wee bit tricky at the end there. Gonna go around here. Oh, that was a slog at the end, and there's that tricky part to climb up. I'm hoping I find an easier way down. It's a very flat top. There's two little cairns. I'll touch them both. Hopefully I'll make sure. It's not too windy. I should hear it, but it gets windy at the edge. So the last of the Arrochar Alps. Whoa, it's like an ice rink up here. Almost tempted to put my crampons on. It's not quite bad enough yet. I won't be sticking around long up here. It's nice and peaceful. The very first time I came to the top of this Munro, it was in the summertime, glorious weather, there wasn't even a breeze, perfectly still. I stopped to have some lunch, have a wee seat, and the midges came out and had their lunch. I had to pack up quickly and just eat on the move. It was bad. Lots of midges here in the right conditions. I'm not going to hang around to get a view because I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to head back. So earlier on when I did that tricky climb, I went round to the right. I'm going to go down this way, it definitely looks easier. There's more snow in it, so you can just jump down into the snow. That's my plan. Anyway, follow the route on the OS maps, so follow the time lapse. Just had to stop there to change the battery in the GoPro. There's not much to see or film at this point. Hopefully we get down below the cloud line and maybe get some views. There might not be much more other than time lapse back to the van at this point. Oh, it's cold. Everything's freezing up. So I'm down off the hill back at where I left the bike. It's raining. Hopefully that's melted some of the snow that was on the road on the way up, make it a bit easier to cycle down. It never cleared up very much, it was cloud all the way down. Just straight down that road, back to the car park. Once again, I'm back at the car park at Inveruglas. Not as calm as last week, raining, but made it back. So if you like the video, please click like. If you want to see more and you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you.